Admiral Davis stared at the alien armada through the bridge's view screen. Hundreds of Vordak warships stretched across the darkness of space, their sleek, metallic hulls gleaming against the backdrop of stars. Earth's fleet, merely 30 vessels, seemed insignificant in comparison. "They've sent their terms of surrender again," Lieutenant Reed reported, her voice tight. "The Vordak ambassador says humans are disappointingly fragile and should accept servitude rather than annihilation." Davis's jaw clenched. For 6 months, the Vordak had observed humanity, studying them from orbit with clinical detachment. They had watched human children play in parks, examined human hospitals, and monitored human athletic competitions. Their conclusion: humans were physically inferior beings. "Send them our response," Davis ordered. "No surrender." The Vordak, with their dense musculature and exoskeletons, had mistaken humanity's biological limitations for weakness. What they'd failed to understand was that humans had spent millennia overcoming their physical shortcomings through ingenuity and sheer determination. "All ships, battle formation Theta," Davis commanded. "Operation Anvil begins now." The human fleet split into 3 groups, seemingly scattered and disorganized. The Vordak fleet surged forward, their confidence evident in their aggressive approach. "They're moving exactly as predicted," Tactical Officer Wilson noted. "Their battle doctrine prioritizes overwhelming force." "Let them come," Davis said. On the Vordak command ship, Supreme Commander Krell watched with disdain as the human vessels scattered. "Pathetic," he rumbled to his second-in-command. "These creatures cannot even maintain a unified defense. Their bones break under minimal pressure. Their skin tears with the slightest cut. How did such frail beings ever achieve spaceflight?" "Perhaps they are attempting to flee, Commander," his subordinate suggested. "There is nowhere to flee to," Krell replied. "Pursue and destroy them all. Show no mercy." What Krell didn't realize was that humans had been fighting wars against superior forces for their entire history. They had learned that victory didn't always belong to the strongest, but to the most adaptable. As the Vordak fleet broke formation to pursue the seemingly retreating human ships, they failed to notice the small drones detaching from the human vessels. Each drone carried a specialized electromagnetic pulse generator, designed specifically to target Vordak shielding frequencies. "EMP drones in position," Reed announced. Davis nodded. "Execute." Simultaneously, hundreds of drones activated, sending pulses cascading through the Vordak fleet. Ship after ship suddenly lost power to their weapon systems. Krell roared in fury as his tactical display flickered. "What is happening?" "Unknown energy surges, Commander," his officer reported, panic edging into his voice. "Weapon systems failing across the fleet." "Impossible." Krell slammed his fist on the console. "These humans are technologically inferior." Meanwhile, the scattered human fleet had completed a complex maneuver, reforming behind the now vulnerable Vordak armada. "All ships, target their propulsion systems," Davis ordered. "Fire at will." But human vessels unleashed a coordinated barrage. While their weapons might have been less powerful individually, they had been precisely calibrated to exploit the weak points in Vordak ship design, knowledge gleaned from months of careful intelligence gathering. Krell watched in disbelief as his fleet's formation crumbled. How are they doing this?" "Sir, the humans. They're communicating and adapting faster than we can respond," his tactical officer stammered. "Their tactics. They're not fighting according to any recognized doctrine." What the Vordak had failed to understand was that humans had evolved not as the strongest species on their planet, but as the most innovative. When faced with a physically superior predator, ancient humans hadn't tried to match strength with strength. They had invented spears, traps, and strategies. As the battle continued, the human fleet executed maneuver after unpredictable maneuver. Where the Vordak expected retreat, the humans advanced. Where the Vordak anticipated defense, the humans attacked from unexpected vectors. "They're targeting our command ships now," Reed reported. Davis nodded. "They thought our unpredictability was chaos. They don't understand that humans thrive in chaos." Within hours, nearly half the Vordak fleet had been disabled or destroyed, while the human fleet had lost only 7 ships. The remaining Vordak vessels began to retreat, their rigid battle hierarchy collapsing without clear command. On his severely damaged flagship, Krell received a transmission from Admiral Davis. "Your terms of surrender are accepted," Davis said simply. Krell stared at the human's image on the screen. "How? You were supposed to be weak." "Physical strength isn't everything," Davis replied. "Humans have always been outmatched by something, whether predators, disease. We survived by outsmarting them all." After the battle, as the Vordak representatives signed the peace treaty, their chief diplomat approached Davis. "We believe strength determines superiority," the diplomat admitted. "We were wrong." Davis smiled slightly. "That's the thing about humans. Our greatest strength isn't in our bodies. It's in our ability to recognize our weaknesses and overcome them. We don't need to be the strongest species in the galaxy." The diplomat tilted his head curiously. "What do you need to be?" "The most determined," Davis answered. "Because we spend our entire existence proving that limitations don't define us. Our response to them does." As the Vordak fleet departed Earth's solar system, they carried with them a new understanding of humanity and a healthy measure of respect for the species they had once dismissed as weak.